my name is Julia Zalta, and I'm a first-year student, and my obscure but phenomenal moment in African American history is the importance and legacy of Alice Allison Dunnigan, presented through spoken word poetry. The first three poems are from the point of view of Alice herself, while the fourth and final poem is from the point of view of a young woman fearing how the world will view her and how Dunnigan's legacy had impacted her to make her own choices. Emergence. See, I'm obedient, much like a dog. I sat, I stayed, I smiled, and sometimes I even barked back. Each morning I crawled out into the fog. Kentucky, 1906, known for its tobacco and derby track. I was born into the times of the Black Patch Tobacco War. I was at war with my mirror. I was unsure of the dark picture I saw or where it came from. See, my father is a tobacco sharecropper, but I didn't grow up all too proper. Mom does laundry for some extra money. The family tree shines through only when it's sunny. But when it storms, we are all but the norm. My grandparents were slaves. The stories were more like nightmares. And the most perplexed part was, I have white heritage in my blood too. See, half of me was the granddaughter of a slave, and the other half of me was a majority of you. I was inspired by my family to learn in school. I wanted to learn about why my grandparents had to put up this fight. How come the other part of my ancestry did not go to school with me? They're missing out of my progress. I'm making history. Did I mention I'm only in first grade? Today, I emerged into my own great cascade. C. I married a tobacco farmer when I was 19. I wanted to have something to talk to Dad about. But it was me, my own doubt. I left my husband at the time. I wasn't meant to be the wife of a farmer. He was far from my knight in shining armor. I went back to school to accomplish something. Teacher by day, student by night. I was learning all right. I came to find out that Kentucky's African American students were unaware of their ancestors' contributions to Kentucky. It was up to me, you see, providing them with the history their so-called textbooks lacked. Textbooks that were written by the whites, and not a single mention of my grandfather's fight within. Freelance writing summoned me. I moved towards Chicago to study our white-collared economy and the topic of consumer behavior. I was writing for the Chicago Defender before securing a role at the American Negro Press, attending the press conferences just to be turned around. How could I forget? I must be so silly. I was me, lacking all amounts of creativity, only seen for my complexion, let alone my own reflection. I should have known better. I can't be a go-getter. I was black, a person meant for the back, but I was there with my shoulder-length hair. They could take away my pen and paper, but my pride and presence grew. I was getting a press pass. I believed it within myself when nobody else saw me through. I had pushed my way to be there today. Then all of a sudden, there I was, the first African American to gain a congressional press pass. Truman wished for my presence to be diminished. I was just getting started, not even close to being finished. What do you plan to implement to acknowledge and impact the civil rights issues Americans are enduring today? Make them uncomfortable, make them see that what my family feels is not just the thoughts that grew within me. 54 years into my life, I knew that I needed a change. I could not live with the guilt that I could do more. I left the A&P. Lyndon B. Johnson's campaign was calling me. I felt at peace with myself. I knew who I was. I found my purpose. It was me. The woman denied entry to speeches was now giving them. And of all places, the White House. This isn't Kentucky anymore, Grandpa. Me. I started to journal last night at 11:01. Each night after I lay my 3 kids down for bed in the 1-bedroom basement that I can barely afford, 11:03. I'm the full-time nanny for the family upstairs, and my alone time starts at 11:07. From 11 to 12, I try to journal to take my mind off things, but I end up writing in circles, and then by the time that it's 11:12, the clock is just a constant reminder that the minutes are passing while I sit here masking the 11:29 pain away. I wish for my children that one day they can have the life I dreamed of for them before it's too 11:41. I hadn't told the family upstairs that I applied for a new job, one that pays for maybe a 2-bedroom place, and 11:44. I find out in the morning if I make it for an interview. I mean, I have to speak with my son's teacher at 11:50 because there is a computer at the school that will show me the news of the 11:59 job interview that I got 12. Tonight I set aside an extra 10 minutes to tell the world that I got a job. I'm the first-year editor for the state's new paper, 12:03. I read about it on a bulletin board attached to the bus stop last month, 12:05. It read, "Keep Dunnigan's impact intact," 12:06. I researched her the next morning at school before sneaking back into the home without anyone looking, 12:07. I had this adrenaline rush that I could be the next Alice Allison Dunnigan, 12:09. Just you wait and see. I will spark an interest like Alice sparked the emergence within me.